Hey folks, Stratman Mark here. We are looking at my studio in a box. It's a complete mobile recording setup in a box that's water resistant and impact resistant and keeps everything together and organized. At the heart of my studio in a box is the Zoom R24 studio here. It is a 24-track digital recorder. It can also be used as an interface, a controller, and a sampler. Okay, Zoom R24. Right now we're looking at the function buttons here. Let's take a look at what we've got here. There's our DC in here and our power. We've got an output here, and we've got a headphones output here, right? And we'll lift this up and look at this. So there's your DC in there. There you go. DC in there. Okay, you can see. And you see your power on off switch. You see your output, and there's a volume control for that, and a left and right output, as you can see. Here's your phone's output with its own volume control, and I've got an adapter stuck in there right now for a stereo mini. Since we're here on the back part of this unit, something cool is these mic inputs here, and there are 8 of them. These mic inputs here are both XLR and a 1/4 inch, right? XLR will work in this mic input, and a 1/4 inch can be plugged right in there. All right, very cool. And here I've got actually 2 1/4 inch jacks plugged in there. Okay, and again you've got 1 through 8 mic inputs, either XLR or 1/4 inch. Okay. All right, let's lay this baby back down. All right. Now, one of the things I like the very best about this here is you've got real faders. You've got 8 of them. Now, I know it's a 24-track. I'll explain that in a second. But you've got real faders here, not just buttons or something on a screen that's mimicking a fader. It's a real fader, you know. Okay. You've got indicator lights here to show you what your signal's doing. It flashes yellow if you're starting to get too hot, red if you're if you've got 1 foot into the zone of being distorted, you know. So along with each mic input here, and each of these can also be a line input. But you've got your input number shown here. This particular input, mic number 1, you can set for high Z, right, which I have, meaning, you know, not an XLR. In all honesty, actually, I think when you set this either way, you're setting up all the inputs that way. Okay. As you can see, you've got a peak meter here. This will flash red. Let's see if I can get some focus here. You can see the little red lights that say peak, and that'll flash momentarily if you're getting into more hot of a signal than you want. It'll stay on if you're definitely getting more signal than you want, and it won't come on at all if you're not having any issues with that. You can also see if you're using this input for a line input, you're going to move this indicator down towards here, theoretically. If you're using a mic, you're going to move it down towards here, theoretically. Okay, you got phantom power. You can turn it off or on for all the inputs. Excuse me. And then, let's see, phantom is here. On mic. Oh, this is for the internal. This has built-in stereo mics, which are here. There's one. It even said, well, it doesn't say. Does it say something there? No, it doesn't say. But anyway, that's the right-hand built-in stereo mic. That's the left-hand built-in stereo mic. So this is to activate those. To activate those, and then since this is stereo, you've got control over each mic with your peak indicator and your gain control. So that's pretty cool. And then over here, you've got a built-in metronome. If you want to use it, you can use it to run through whatever you're playing and the headphones, or you can do it so that you can record and only hear the metronome through the phones, but it won't be recorded. Okay, and to be honest with you, here where it says master and click, I have no idea what that means. Balance. Oh, balance. That's your balance between your metronome sound and your other sound. And I don't use the metronome in here, so that's not going to be an issue. Okay, and then here are your function buttons. Now, you've got eight input channels and 8 sliders plus plus 1 master slider. Okay, now what happens is when you want to record on the 9th track, if you come down here, I think I already mentioned, but if not, because this is like my 3rd take of this video. Now here, this activates the internal drum machine. I haven't used it. I've got something else I like. This has built-in effects that you can add to any track at any time, even at post-recording. This is USB. I'm not quite sure what that's about. Tool, I'm not quite sure what that's about. It's in the instruction manual, which is here. Okay. Project, you can record multiple songs in progress on here. So this allows you to select between different recordings you've got going on in here. This is your pan and EQ, which means during recording, after recording, for mixing, whatever, you can set up the pan and EQ the way you want. This is for selecting a track. And then now, these 6 here, these 3 here, 1 through 8, 9 through 16, 17 through 24, TR, that stands for track. So if I push this button here, that means my 8 track faders and my 8 track inputs are set up for me to work on anything I want to do with tracks 1 through 8, anything I want to. Now, if I need to work on track 9, including record track 9, well, then I come down here, and while I was using this button here, now I need to record or access a 9th track, so I'm going to hit this button. Now, the faders and all the other controls are assigned to tracks 9 through 16, all right? And again, you can hit the button again. Sorry about this lack of focusing here. You can hit the button again here for tracks 17 through 24. So if you want to use all 24 tracks, you hit this, you record on the first 8 tracks using the 8 faders and the 8 inputs. Then you hit this button and record your next 8 tracks, and then your next 8 tracks after that. Okay, see, these little buttons right here at the center of the screen, now they're at the center of the screen, those are important. Let's see, what am I trying to say? So, trying to remember what I'm doing. Those, okay, I'm tripping out. I can't remember, yeah, that's weird. I can't remember, see, these don't have any markings on them. They don't have any markings on them. Oh, actually, okay. Let me turn the unit on. I think we need to turn the unit on. Okay, so now, by the way, obviously this is your display for the unit. PRJ stands for project 0. That's your battery level. This tells us that we got reverb and chorus activated somewhere. But with these buttons, these 4 buttons here, 1, 2, 3, 4, these correspond with these 3 headings here. This button is for transferring, track sequence. I'm not sure what that means, but this button is for track sequence, I believe. This button is for swap. This button is for bounce. Now, I have this one, I have a little indicator here to point at this one, and this doesn't have anything here, but after you've recorded something, it'll say undo here. So I've recorded a track. I want to get rid of it. If I press this button when it says undo, it'll undo it. And then the word redo will be here. And if I want to change my mind, I hit this button again and it'll put my track back. Okay, so that's what these 4 buttons are for. Obviously, that's your time for how long your recording is. I'm not quite sure what that is. That's 4/4 time. Oh, that's things regarded to the drum machine. Tempo 120, 4/4, 8, whatever. That's all for the drum machine. And some other stuff that I don't use here. Okay, yeah. And also, if you hit the pan EQ button, for example, you keep hitting it, and it'll go from pan to EQ. Yeah, so you hit the pan EQ button, and then keep pushing it to move your way down to which one you want, and it'll light up telling you which one is which. Let's see, what else? Oh, and also it's got some, with the drum machine, related to the drum machine, it's got these buttons that you can push that give you some manually, manually generated percussion sounds, basically. Okay, here on these lights, now on your tracks here, hit the button one time, and that means you're ready to record on that track. Okay, and you can record up to 8 tracks at a time, folks. All right, up to 8 tracks at a time. If you want to, you can ding dang do it. Now, if you hit it again, that sets up this fader, etc. for playback mode. Playback, 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 playback. And this would be playback of tracks 1 through 8, right? Now, if you want to include playback from tracks 9 through, 9 through 16, all you do is come over here, change your button from 1 to 8 to 9 through 16, then all these lights will change, and then you'll go ahead and set those lights the same way you've set these lights, the same way you've set these lights here, okay? And then you move over to tracks 17 through 24, push that button, then set up all these lights / faders the way you need to, and then that's how you set up all 24 tracks for mixing, for whatever you want to do, right? So we'll turn these off. All right, focus please, thank you. All right, okay, what else? I think that's all, folks. Oh, here's one of the best things of all. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this baby off. I'm about, like I said, I'm about to record an album with this one. I'm about to record the first song of an album. So we'll turn this off. Alright, one of the best things of all, the reason it's a mobile studio in a box is because it runs off of 6 AA batteries. Oh my gosh. Seriously, you put 6 AA batteries in this bad boy. The Zoom R24. Okay. Oh, by the way, it also has a place for an SD card, obviously for storage, and that's a big adapter, which it needs. But you can put the micro SD in there. And see if I can get this back in how it goes. Yeah. Okay, and then here you've got a host for pairing with the computer, I guess. USB and device. So I'm not quite sure what that stuff is for, but if you know what it is and you want it, it's got it. Okay, so there you go. There's that. And the owner's manual here. Focus, okay. Quick whip through the owner's manual. There's all the gobbledygook, blah, blah, blah information we don't care about. There's the index. And it just shows you all about how to, it shows you everything. It's a very good manual. It's very complete, number one. And it's also pretty dang easy to understand. And plus the way the controls are laid out and all the indicators on that little screen you've got, there's all kinds of little icons that tell you what's going on. We won't flip through page by page, but we'll do this. Very thorough. Tells you how to do anything you want to do. You can do anything with a studio, basically, that you can do in a full-blown recording studio, you know. So that's the deal. That's my preview video. I know it's long, but it's a preview video because we're not actually demonstrating it. But the next thing I'll do is probably do a step-by-step little short videos of recording my album, showing how I record the first track, you know, real briefly, and maybe each track thereafter, or maybe just the first track as a sample, and then of course, the first song I finish and mix, and I might demonstrate the mixing process through using this unit post-recording as a mixer. And but anyway, yeah. So we'll go through the whole thing of making an album, but briefly. Okay, so there you go, Stratman Mark. Just wanting to share with you the Zoom R24 24-track digital studio, baby, with real faders. Runs off of 6AA batteries. From my testing so far, really fantastic sound quality. Doesn't sound digital to me. It's pretty damn good. You know, it doesn't sound as good as half-inch tape or anything, but still sounds pretty dang good. All right, Stratman Mark signing off. So stay tuned for a demo video of this R24 from Zoom 24-track. Thanks. Bye-bye.